This one's pretty quick, but it's like, so I get the food poisoning, right?
Yeah.
I get that mean bout of food poisoning.
Yeah.
And then that weekend, my landlord comes up to me and she's telling me she's having a party that night.
At your apartment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? So she's having a get together.
So for the people at home, Hardy lives with his landlord, but she doesn't like really live there.
Yes, perfectly said. She has a house in Jersey and she keeps this apartment.
She has full reign of the apartment with whatever she wants to do.
Yes.
No matter what you have to say, even though you're living there.
That's exactly what it's like. And she runs a non-profit business out of the living room.
Yeah.
So she goes, we're having people over, right? And I'm like, okay. There's nothing I can do about it. And I'm coming off of this food poisoning.
Yeah.
So
how many bathrooms in the apartment?
There's just one.
All
Thank
right.
you. I think
I'm foreshadowing.
This is really key. And so fast forward, the party's heating up, and I leave. I'm like, okay, bubble guts hit. I got diarrhea.
What do you mean the party's heating up? How many people? Are they boozing?
Yeah, there's like 10.
Music?
15 people, yeah.
How old is this woman?
This is like middle-aged to a little older.
40.
Is the clientele. Yeah, 50. Real interesting party, too.
Wine,
like, people
not
aren't...
beer.
Yes. And
Yeah.
people are, like, sitting mostly. Isn't that weird? They're just...
How big is this apartment? They got 15 people sitting?
Yeah, on these, like, fold-out chairs. And they're, like, not all sitting next to each other. They're sort of sporadically sitting throughout...
They've got group. You know how like in a standing
Yes.
in a standing party there will be little clusters. They've
That's
clustered the
right.
chairs.
That's what they've done.
Jeez.
They've
How do
clustered-
they go to another cluster? They pick up their chair and move the chair over to the next cluster.
Yeah, they'll just get up and go to the other cluster. But here's the thing: clusters aren't mingling. Okay, so once you commit to a cluster, like I went in and I committed to this like jazz cluster where they were listening to live jazz on a YouTube, and that was the jazz cluster. We're talking jazz, right?
Was the jazz audible to the other clusters?
Yes.
Or they had their own little pod?
Yeah. They had their own pod, but like the jazz was kind of playing throughout. Not a lot of room. This is New York. Scooting bys. Excuse me. Sorry.
How big is this apartment? Like the size of this?
No, smaller than it's smaller than this. There's no room that's honestly like the main room is maybe around like this size. But it's packed with stuff, right? Like put a bunch of chairs in here, you're not gonna be able to get around.
Yeah.
Right? And the kitchen's way small, and they cook like a bunch of shit. So it was like smelling. It was like packed. She's cooking full fish. She had these full fish she roasted.
Skin on.
Yes,
Yeah.
eye on.
Oh, I hate that. But
Dude,
yeah.
it was
Do you
wild.
like that stuff?
I ate it, but it was good. It was good, but it fucked me up.
Bones? You felt the bones?
Yeah,
Yeah.
felt the bones. So I'm like, okay, I get diarrhea, right?
As you're in the house? As you're in the apartment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just hits me, and I'm like, okay, this is not good.
You pull her aside, you're like, I have diarrhea.
She's
Like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, she's like, I don't know. So this is, but this is like the party is not at full peak yet, so it's like still on the rise.
People are still showing up.
Yes, and I go out to the bathroom, and it's just occupied. So I'm like, fuck, like there's someone in there, right? Because it's now the bathroom for the party.
What are you wearing?
Too.
Because I imagine these people are wearing
know.
like button downs.
Oh yeah,
maybe like a little
great.
fedora.
So I'm in that T-shirt I have. It says definitely not on drugs. I literally am. And I'm like all disheveled. And they're
You
like,
got
oh,
a beanie
Matt.
on? Beanie on?
Yeah. And I had been sleeping, I think. And I'm like, oh, fuck. You got to understand, I'm not thinking there's going to be someone in the bathroom. There's very rarely, the chances are almost none. But then it hits me, oh, the party. Right? This party. So I'm standing out there, and I end up waiting like 25 minutes for someone to come out of the bathroom. And I'm like, fuck, man. Like, I really had to go.
Right.
So I'm
You're knocking on the door, and they're like, 1 second, they finally come out. They
That's
see
what
that
it
you're like
was.
definitely not on drugs, and this guy's got a coke problem.
yeah, dude. I was like, so then the person comes out, right? But I'm like, well, they go into the bathroom, and then it's a woman.
Yeah.
And so I feel bad, right? It's this nice middle-aged, larger woman. She comes down. I'm like, what's going on?
Does that have anything to do with the story?
You know, I'm like, a little bit, yeah. I'm like, but she looks very nice. She's very, like, dressed up.
Yeah. She's probably at the only party she's going to for the next month.
Yeah, so I'm like, Jesus, like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I don't want to be a dick, so I'm kind of avoiding the eye contact. I'm like hanging back in my room, peering through the door, you know? I'm like,
Oh,
all
you're
right.
not waiting right outside the
No,
door.
I'm like, let me like wait till for her to pass, yada
Yeah.
yada. And I
Yada,
I
yada.
realized she was getting dressed. That's why it took her so long. She wasn't going to the bathroom.
How
Okay?
did you realize this?
Well, she's all dressed up, makeup, and when I go into the bathroom, there's bags everywhere of like people's clothes who have traveled to the apartment who are now using the bathroom as a changing room.
What?
Yes.
This doesn't occur. This doesn't happen.
You're telling me.
Where are they coming from where they
I
can't
I
just
know.
have the clothes on? Is this like a sex party?
That wasn't like a sec.
Where they're like dressing up and like they got
They-
some like
They were dressed.
leathers going on now?
That would be really funny if they were like really
I
getting.
could
No,
see that.
they were putting on like different, like they were the women. They were like getting dressed up, putting on like makeup. They had these dresses. They were leaving the old clothes in there. They had bags. They were like, you know, using the mirror. Had stuff on. The tub itself was full of like 2 literal traveling bags of clothing. Samaha's shaking
I'm
his head.
absolutely furious right now.
Right. And
There's
I'm-
another bedroom, right?
Yes.
Oh!
Thank you, Pat.
No.
There's another bedroom.
Unoccupied?
No, he's at the party.
I'm literally at the party. No.
Yes.
I would pick up the bags
coulda
and
used-
throw them outside. I'd be like, this isn't the place for the bags.
That's a nice. See, if I had more
They're in the
moxie,
hallway.
if I had more moxie, maybe. But
I'd drop my shit right into one of their bags.
you just shit in a bag.
Yeah.
That's funny. So,
Oh, sorry.
so
Whose purple bag is that? You might want
did
to.
anyone leave a purple
You
bag?
might want to check it out.
Yeah, because now it's purple and brown. So you might want to take a look. So, okay, and I'm also kind
Patty
of like,
Clips clipped it. Boom. That's our quickest clip. 11 minutes in.
yeah, I
ahead.
go, and I'm like, listen, use my bedroom. That's a clip it. Do we have the thing? Oh, hell's yeah. I'm like, why don't you use my room? You can use my room. Don't use the bathroom. There's one. And this is a disaster now because, again, I didn't have to kind of go to the bathroom, all right, everyone? Like TMI, I had to go.
Yeah.
I had food poisoning recently. So I go in there, close the door, and this is embarrassing because, by the way, when you're using a changing room, there are people who are still using it. So there's like people like walking back like, yeah, it's good to see you, girl. Like, and they're like heading back towards the bathroom to use it as a changing room because they're thinking there's no weird guy here who's going to fucking spray diarrhea shit
But you're
in the
in there.
bathroom in between me putting my makeup on in a clean, nice, fresh bathroom.
But you're already in there, right?
Yes, I'm in there dropping an absolute bomb.
Good.
Yes.
Let them know. Let them know what's supposed to be going on in there.
Mark your fucking territory.
Yes.
That's good. Let them know. That's what was happening. That's what was happening. It was fucking crazy. I was letting them know, and I locked the bathroom door. But I'm like, this is bad because I'm spraying shit. Like, it stinks.
Yes.
Okay?
Once again.
Again, I
Now
got
they'll never make that mistake again.
Yeah,
and also
really.
stay in there a couple extra minutes so that more people knock on the door. They go, are you in there? You go, yes.
Yes.
I'm taking a shit.
this is not.
Whatever you're
The
wearing
dressing
right
room.
now will suffice for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah. Or if you don't think it will, use at your own peril now. Because let me tell you, I popped out and there was a woman standing right there and she was like, oh, Matthew, are you done? Are you still using it? And I was like, no, I'm done. You can go back in there now. Which I was like, dude, it was a gross, the bathroom's tiny.
You go, well, I finished taking a shit, but I also need to change. So I will be coming back in the next 5 minutes because I'm not changing in a bedroom. That'd be ridiculous.
And it's the wife, the woman that's standing there is literally the wife of the guy that I pay rent to.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is just... It was literally like, you know when you have you literally have a nightmare and you can't make this shit up? You're like, you know it'd be a really bad place to take a shit? In between a bunch of excited women getting ready for a party in a bathroom.
No, see, that's their fault.
But you were pumped up.
I would be self-conscious if I was in between women going to the bathroom.
Right.
You
But
know what
not
I mean?
this kind of, right.
They can very easily grab their bag and go to a bedroom. If they're not enjoying the smell, the natural smells of the bathroom, pick it up and go elsewhere.
Smells of the bathroom. I hope you guys enjoy the natural smells of the bathroom. Yeah, I sprayed some like apple cinnamon Febreze, which by the way, it's supposed to be
Makes it worse.
Does not work.
It makes it worse.
Does not
Because
work.
it smells more like more of a public bathroom now instead of a natural bathroom.
And they just like casually escorted a newly arrived party member into the bathroom, and I was like, okay, that's that. So that's that one.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Yeah.